Tell living in that living room all white. I'm up all night, season ends while niggas sleeping. Lost so many guys, guess why I'm breathing. We keep it strong as the name live on, like if they was never gone. Mind blown, and even my never seen. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Just gonna talk about something that, you know, I've been saying for a while. But you know, there's always, you know, consistent examples to back up everything I'm saying. You know, what I'm trying to do here, man, is just trying to boost the awareness of people. Give them, you know, open their minds up. Open their minds up to, you know, really see things, you know, give them structure to their thinking, man. I'm not telling you to adopt my ideologies or, you know, see things my way. But I do want you to have all of the information to be well informed so you can make the proper decision. You know, have all the, you know, as much accurate information as possible. And then things that you know, you really can't confirm, you know, it's all right to just say you don't know and leave it there, and, you know, until you get there. But, you know, everybody has to, you know, they want to make assertions. They got to speak in absolutes and on everything. But, you know, it gains people something. It gains people following. You know, look, it seems that, you know, that's what people want to hear. They want to hear assertions, you know, no matter if it's the truth or a lie. You know, people out here, they want to be entertained. They want a story. They want to stick to a definitive way of thinking. You know, that's what I guess. But I just want to talk about, you know, I was looking, man, I wouldn't see it on TV, I saw it on social media. It was dealing with Ron DeSantis and the, you know, the Florida governor, and this whole, you know, forming a civilian militia, and how it was jumped all over, you know, well, you know, I wouldn't say it's, you know, a firestorm, or it wouldn't jump all over it, but how it was addressed in the media. I saw it was on the Zerlina show. Zerlina Maxwell, I believe her name is. I don't watch none of these people on MSNBC. But I wanted to bring you what I was talking about. You know, the topic is, you know, how the media uses black faces to manipulate, you know, the public, you know, namely other black people. And they do it on both sides. They use manipulation, you know, manipulation tactics from the Republican side also. But, you know, mainly it's the Democrats that have the hearts of the black folks, man. Shit, we go out way black folks vote. Man, it's overwhelmingly they pledged their allegiance to the Democratic Party, man. No matter what. But a lot of it is, you know, and like I said, it's not to say jump to the other side, don't jump to Republican, but there's other options. You know, you got write-ins, you got, you know, libertarian. You know, you got all type of other stuff, man. But, you know, there has to be an understanding, education of, you know, how the system works anyway. And, you know, of course, all of it on the, you know, the whole presidential race and stuff like that. That's the whole, you know, sideshow. Worry about that the last, to focus on your local elections and stuff like that primarily. But I saw the way they responded to news of him starting his civilian militia, and how they just fear-mongered. put out a lot of just misinformation. Now, does that mean there shouldn't be vigilance on this, other civilians' parts to monitor these militia, this a specific militia that Ron DeSantis has put together? Let me get my words together. But yeah, that Ron DeSantis has put together. No, that doesn't mean that. They should forever remain vigilant. But the way they demonize militias in the media, it turns people away from that. But I'd advise, it's everybody's right to form one, and that goes, above a law. It's everybody's right to form a regulated one. You can do what you want, but it's best to have a regulated one so you don't be all over the place like, Rittenhouse and them were up there in Kenosha, and they didn't have no real direction on how they wanted to move. So they, even when it came to, asking what they were there for and their purpose, Rittenhouse was all over the damn place, basically just trying to say what he thought was right, what was the correct thing to say. But it's needed. It's needed to monitor your government, different things like that. The police force, go against all threats, foreign and domestic. And we've been seeing a lot of this, when it comes to like these mandates. Like I said, I don't have a problem, I don't have a problem with a business implementing a mask or a jab mandate. They have every right to do that. They have every right to do that. And the person opposing the business and, starting crap with them, you're completely wrong. You're completely wrong. Since person has the complete right to require that from, its people, or to enter this business. Now, like I always said, the only question on all of that is, what about people who were existing employees and they signed a contract and that wasn't in it, that wasn't a part of it? That would be my only question of how that would be handled. But what are the terms of your service, of your contract? Can you be terminated at any moment for any reason? So, if that were one, then, your employer would have any reason they could let you go for that. But as far as, mandates and different things like that, which do have residual effects on the, just the, the private sector, the economy. What we've seen, it transfers. It's a effective method of transferring wealth and eliminating competition, and all type of different things, and just flexing your power. And not gonna get into all of that right now, but it's a very effective way. And how it turns out, how it usually ends up is, well, not usually, the only way it's always going to end up is through police or military force. That's the only way it's going to end up. So you need a militia with that. So there's nothing wrong with DeSantis having that, because he's positioning himself as being anti-establishment. Now, we all know that's a lie. He's playing the Democrat-Republican game. I don't believe with everything DeSantis has done. If I'm right, I could be wrong with the particular details, but I believe he put a ban. I believe, and I think Abbott did it too, and I could be wrong, but I think they put a ban on having vaccine. I'm sorry, no, let me not say vaccine. Jab. Screw it, I already said it. But putting those mandates and also mask mandates on businesses, on private businesses. They banned them from being able to exercise that authority. And I believe that's just as bad as, vice versa. The business has the right to do what they want, but I could be a little bit wrong on the details. Also, it could be a matter of funding, which they have every right to do. Pull back if you're receiving state funding. You got to abide by the state's rules, state or federal funding. You got to abide by those rules if you want to receive those different loans. But as far as private entity operating on its own, they can do whatever they want. So this could be just a bunch of political posturing, which more than likely it is for DeSantis. The right trying to position themselves as the party of freedom and stuff like that, which they're not, but they position themselves like that because of how authoritarian the left is, how authoritarian these Democrats, who are really right wing, but how authoritarian they are and fascist they are, right? They've created, villains. They've created themselves, they position themselves as villains, so people are, just like it works the other way too. So you got a lot of people gravitating toward that side. It all depends on their level of education, I would say. It all depends on that and what they've been, what they've been exposed to on both sides. But what they do on these shows like, Zerlina and, Joy Reid, and they usually have a lot of black faces on these, news anchors. And that's not to say there's a high possibility that, most of them are, just playing an actor role. But there's also the possibility that they're all in this, that they only know what they know because of what they've been fed all of their lives and how they've been educated. So they may believe that they're making the right decision and they're championing the right things. All in the name of, they want to be activists and they want to see, progress. But they're just being used as puppets. I can't make any, strong assertions because I don't know these people on a personal level. Now, I do know, people like Joy Reid and Don Lemon. I don't know enough about Zelina Maxwell, but I do know Don Lemon, Joy Reid, they openly just deny facts and stuff. Even when the truth is brought to them, they deny it. But, like Zerlina, like I said, a lot of black folks, middle-aged, older, stuff like that, they watch these shows like this and stuff like on CNN and MSNBC. And they take in this information. And they, a lot of them believe it to be fact. And this is how their news source. They don't go in and, evaluate the situations for themselves and look at the details for themselves. They take it from them, from these black faces. And, it's manipulative. That's how you think all of the misinformation about Kyle Rittenhouse, how that was able to spread. I was watching, saw a little clip on No Jumper, debate between Adam 22 and AD. And Adam 22 had basically, giving them the facts about this case. And, these guys, AD and the other guy there, they admitted, like, man, we thought these were black guys that were murdered. If you would have, went off what the media was going on and all the outrage, you would have thought Kyle Rittenhouse murdered some black folks. And even then, it still didn't matter because race would have nothing to do with it. Like I always say, you have to eliminate. I mean, you got to eliminate multiple factors before you even are able to arrive to that. Because there's stuff that has to be, what was the engagement between the parties? Not everything is race. It could be a fight, fist fight, all type of stuff. People die for all type of reasons, get killed for all type of reasons. It doesn't have to be over race just because, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but logical people should know this. He sit up there and the white guy and the black guy get in a fight, and one gets mad and decides to pull out a pistol. White guy decides to pull out a pistol and shoot the other. Well, your motive right there is a fight. Maybe he was losing the fight, whatever it is, but there was a conflict. It wasn't just race. Okay? Now, it could be something. It could be things that could motivate to say he has, he has more of a reason or affinity to shoot another black man without thinking twice, because maybe he doesn't. But that could sway either way. But you got to be able to eliminate those different things. But just how irresponsible the news is with this information. But they're pushing an agenda, and they have these puppets on here to push this crap. So it wouldn't even matter. It's all about, what was the engagement and why did he shoot them? The other two, they were like, they was two white guys. Now if they was black, I understand it. If they was black, I understand that. And Adam 22 was telling them same thing. Like, what does that even matter? What does that have to do with the engagement and why they got shot? If it was two black guys, well, why did he shoot them? You know what I'm saying? But people are brainwashed. If it was two black guys, it would have been even, you would have seen even the ones who were saying, hey, y'all looking at this wrong, you would have seen a lot of them now jumping on the Kyle Rittenhouse hate train. And they only deal with facts, man. But like I said, with this DeSantis thing, this whole militia and all of this stuff, who knows? Maybe it's for the the federal government, to keep federal government and, because of everything that's going on. That'll all tell within time if a situation arises, and we'll see through his use. But you got to let the transaction take place with also monitoring different things, on a micro level. You got to monitor everything. But you just got to see how it's being used and see, and take them at, don't take them at face value, but if they say it's being used for one thing and it's being used for that, then that's what it is. Now, if they're going down gunning civilians and stuff like that down, then you know what you got to do. But that's what your own militia's for. Everything has to be regulated by each other. Just like we as civilians got to be able to regulate our own government and hold them accountable. But there's nothing wrong with it. And what makes it so funny is this is the 23rd state to do this. Those Democratic states like, New York and California, they already have this implemented. They have their own governor's militias. So what are we talking about? It's one down here in Texas. Abbott used it to, when there was, different theories on how the military was occupying Walmarts and different things down here. He used it to, take a glance and just to make sure. There's nothing wrong with that. It's being used for a right way to make sure that your military, the federal government's operating the correct way when occupying a state. It's against all terrorists, foreign and domestic. That's simple. So they're using a lot of these black faces to manipulate people, man, because they know, especially, when you got a black and you're a woman, and they know to respect that, black folks are the only ones, one of the few is black Americans, one of the few that have always respected their women, that haven't, as far as, don't look toward the rap and all this stuff. I'm talking about as far as, legislation and having enslaved and kept women out of, different services, public services and different things like that. We've never done that. So we have a lot of respect for our women, but, a lot of times, we cape for them even when they're in the wrong. And everybody knows that. We know that. So it creates kind of an atmosphere to where they're untouchable. And you say anything, then you're racist, misogynist, or you hate women and stuff like that. When all you're doing is stating the facts, man. So I don't know, man. Gotta get moving, but let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'll expound more in later videos on this, but I gotta get moving. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that like button, please. Keep building this channel, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.